Good morning, day 45, just leaving Saunders shelter. First one out, 7:10, hoping to do some decent miles today. Shelter was nearly full, there was 6 people in there I think, and then I was the only one camping, which did surprise me. But everyone was going on about how it's going to rain, there's going to be thunderstorms, and there was a very little shower in the night, so I was pleased to pack up a dry tent, and I'm hoping that today's going to be nice, but there is a chance of rain. We'll see. Right, I'm hoping we've got a milestone coming up later. I'll talk to you then. A quick note to future hikers about Saunders shelter. Nice shelter, recommend it, and it's nice being out of Tennessee because we had a bear box and a privy. But there's 2 entrances to the shelter. Coming northbound, the first junction you'll hit takes you down quite a long path to get to the shelter, and if you take that first junction, it means that in the morning you've got to retrace your steps all the way back to the AT so that you don't miss any. If you ignore the first junction and carry on along the AT, then there's a second path in, I guess primarily for southbounders, that's much shorter, and it means that when you come out of the shelter in the morning, you take that short path back onto the AT and you're off again. So just keep that in mind. So the plan for the day is to come down off this mountain we climbed yesterday afternoon. No one seems to know the name of it, and the guide's not very helpful. And then we go up Mount Rogers, which is a 2,000-foot climb. I'm hoping to get that pretty much done this morning while it's still cool. And then we pass on to what's called the Grayson Highlands, which has got a nice surprise, and I'll show you that when we get there. Wow, look how dark it is in here. You'd think I was night hiking. That's what the rhododendrons do for you. We're back down next to the creeper trail. I must admit, I thought we crossed it and walked along it a bit more often than we have, but we're just about to rejoin it here. As we're on level ground for a little while, I thought I'd share with you a question that I get asked a lot, and my answer. The hikers out here are amazing, particularly now we've all been out for 6 or 7 weeks and gone through the same stuff, so conversation is really easy. And if you meet someone you've not met before, then the chat sort of seems to follow a similar path. What's your name? Where did you start this morning? What did you think of the last town, hostel? And then it comes back to, so how did you get your trail name? And then I always say that my trail name comes from the fact that, as well as hiking the AT, I'm also trying to fulfill another ambition of visiting 100 countries, and I'm currently at 86. And then I get asked, or have been asked, the same question time and time again. So I thought if people out here are interested, then I'd share the answer with you guys as well. So that question is, so where's your favourite place? And of course it's almost impossible to answer. Everywhere is so different, and your experiences are so different to everyone else's experiences. And I've been places that on paper look like they'd be amazing, and then you get there and it turns out to be some sort of touristy hell with stalls selling cheap tap. But I will say that it depends what you're looking for. So if you're after Paradise Island with golden beaches and palm trees, then I don't think you can go wrong with the Maldives in the Indian Ocean. For wildlife, when I did the Falklands patrol, I was lucky enough to go down to South Georgia. Just incredible. I've walked along beaches with thousands of penguins, walked right up to families of elephant seals on the beach, and watched killer whales hunting just a few hundred feet off the shore. I don't think you can beat that. If you're looking for cultural cities, then Eastern Europe for sure. I mean, obviously you've got Prague, Budapest, Krakow, but the second tier cities as well, give them a try. There's some real hidden gems out there. Gdansk and Poznan in Poland are good examples. And if you really want to experience different cultures, then India or China, pretty amazing. But if you're going to travel, just keep in mind that in general people are nice and friendly and welcoming, and it doesn't matter where you go. We went to Russia under Putin's rule and visited a town called Kaliningrad on the Baltic Sea. Admittedly, they were a little bit surprised to see British tourists there, but once they got over the shock, they were friendly, welcoming. We had a great time. Same in Minsk in Belarus. Great people there. We've been to other countries that maybe got questionable governments that you might think twice about visiting, but it's the people that count, and it doesn't matter where you go, people are nice. And a trip for travelling, I would say, at the very least, learn how to say thank you in the local language. It really goes a long way. I used to learn how to say hello as well, but you can get into a situation there where you say hello in their language and they immediately start talking to you in the language, and then you've got that awkward situation where you have to stop them and explain that you're from another country. So I would say hello in English, so that it sets expectations early, but then learn how to say thank you in their language. You always get a smile and people appreciate it. And go and travel. It's the best thing in the world. You can see where this is actually built on the old railway trestles. It didn't last long. Back in the woods. We're going 6 miles. Just going past Lost Mountain Shelter. Not going to stop there. I want to get up Mount Rogers. It's a 2,400 foot climb, and it's about 9:30, 9:45 now. So I'd like to get up there for lunch. Broken out of the trees. The sun's trying to come out. And here's our first view of Mount Rogers. The top's still in the clouds. I'm hoping that's not the case when I get up there. Just come out of the trees near the top. Unfortunately, we are still in the clouds. I don't know if you can see that blowing through there. Welcome to the top of Mount Rogers. As you can see, the clouds haven't cleared. It's such a shame after a hard climb like that you can't win them all. I'm going to get off the summit and find somewhere for lunch. I just come out onto the second summit. There's been a break in the clouds. BF's back on trail again, and we just had lunch looking out that way. Luckily nothing rained on us. So I have a confession to make. Every time I've told you that we were looking at Mount Rogers so far, that's actually been Whitecap Mountain, and Mount Rogers is still in front of us, so it's like a Whitecap's like a false peak to the main mountain, which is Mount Rogers. So we've still got that to look forward to, but we've got all the altitude. It's just a little bit of an up. I'll show you when we get there, and the weather's cleared, so actually we might get a good view from the top there.
That's your lawyer, that's your doctor, plumber and teacher. Give it all up, you know it's for the summer.
So there's two lots of trail magic at the same gap. That stopped at the first guy. He was an ex thru-hiker. And the other group was a church group. Going through this meadow. There we go. There's BF. We're going over this hump. Mount Rogers is the darker one there, and then this over here is the Grayson Highlands, and then we head off back behind Mount Rogers tomorrow. So I said the Grayson Highlands has a surprise, and these are them. Wild ponies, although they do wander for a lot further than Grayson Highlands. These guys are a few miles from home, but hopefully we'll see more of them. Here's a view of the Highlands. We'll be going up there tomorrow morning. Oh, finally reached the summit of actual Mount Rogers. It's taken the best part of the day to get here. Just a little bit further. The Thomas Nob shelter. Going a little bit further than this. Alright, getting towards the end of day 45. Let's talk a little bit about schedule. So I want to do 100 miles a week, but I allowed myself a week for a slow start and then 3 days to go to trail days. So at the end of 6 weeks and 3 days, or at the end of day 45, I should be at the 500 mile mark. And it's 5:15 on day 45, and look where I am, exactly on schedule. Fantastic. I think that's quite an accomplishment. Deserves a pat on the back. Right, I'm going to go and find a tent site. So, wrap up for day 45. Really pleased I pushed on today. I did nearly 20 miles again to hit the 500 mark, and looking forward to Grayson Highlands tomorrow. There's a threat of rain tonight, so let me take you out here. I'm tucked right under those fir trees there, so I'm out of the wind and out of a lot of the rain, which is great. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.